W.P.O.T. FM. You know what time it is. That's right, it's that time. It's high time that I got to the news. It's Thursday night, 2 nights before UFC 238, and the Wild Man doing what he always does. He's coming here just before the fight starts, giving you his fight predictions and his fight reviews. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty good UFC this time around. We got a really stacked card with some known fighters, not the geriatrics we've been seeing in the past here, but we definitely got a card worth viewing. So if you got the pay-per-view already signed up, or you haven't got your reservations made at the bowling alley, I suggest you do so, because this Saturday night, UFC 238 is gonna explode. We got the main event, Henry Cejudo versus Marlon Moraes, and they're fighting for the vacant bantamweight title that, TJ Dillashaw, he tested positive with the roids. I know it couldn't be the weed, had to be the roids, because if it was the weed, they would have been like, just clean up and fight again. It's just weed. But I think TJ had some roids up in him, and he had to vacate his title belt, and now it's up for grabs between Henry Cejudo and Marlon Moraes. And then, of course, on the co-main event, we've got Miss Double Shotguns herself, Valentina Shevchenko, and she's going to be defending her belt against Jessica Eye, who I guess it's her turn. Eye's made her way up the charts. She's been around for a while, but I don't know if she's got the guns to take out Miss Two Guns, because Jessica Eye, she lost to Misha Tate. Anybody who loses to somebody named Cupcake, I can't put my money on Valentina Shevchenko in that one. And of course, every week I get together with my professional sports analyst, Star Malibu, and she's always putting her input in when it comes to football, basketball, UFC, boxing, and she's accurate most of the time. So between Star Malibu and the Wild Man, you definitely get some accurate fight predictions that you might want to consider putting some money on, my friend, because I've had a friend or two that's known a thing about a thing or two and has made $1 or $2 listening to the Wild Men in Malibu. And so she also picked Valentina Shevchenko. We think that the champ's just got too much for Jessica Eye to handle. She might be like, ow, my eye! And then, of course, after that, we got another big bout ahead of us. Donald Cerrone trying to fight Tony Ferguson. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to chuckle there, but Donald Cerrone, if Donald Cerrone can beat Tony Ferguson, fantastic, I will eat my shoes. But if I had to suggest that the WPOT listeners put money on somebody, definitely put the safe money on Tony Ferguson. He's just got a far better rounded game than Donald Cerrone. So far, WPOT is going with Shevchenko, is going with Ferguson. Now, there are some other prelim fights you don't want to miss as well. We do have Jimmy Rivera taking on Petr Yan. And Jimmy Rivera's an up-and-comer. Maybe he's got what it takes. I got my money on Rivera. Malibu is split, and she picked Yan. And, of course, earlier on the night, we got Aljamain Sterling trying to fight Pedro Munhoz. Once again, we split on that. Star has picked Sterling, where I picked Munhoz. I think that that's a 50-50 fight, though. If Munhoz puts his power in the right place, Sterling will go night-night. If he lets Sterling have his space and have his range, he's going to put Pedro to sleep. But the big prelim, Suarez, I think that she's going to be a name to see as far as the female ranks coming up. She's fighting Nina Asaroff, and I think that Suarez is somebody to keep your eyes on. So the Wild Man's picking Suarez, Malibu's picking Suarez, and in the main event tonight we have Henry Cejudo versus Marlon Moraes. And my pick and Malibu's pick as well, Star Malibu, Wild Man, both pick Marlon Moraes. And for one reason and one reason only. Moraes is hungry, Moraes is focused, Moraes is hard as steel. Henry Cejudo keeps talking about how much gold he's got. And, he's living soft. When you live soft and you wear silk underwear, it's hard to get up and, go running and train at 5 in the morning. And even when you do, you're not going to do it as well as someone who's hungry for the belt. And I think Moraes is definitely the hungrier of the two fighters. And I think he's going to prove it this Saturday night at UFC 238 in Chicago, Illinois, home of the Boom Boom. And we're going to see them get it on. And I have this feeling that Marlon Moraes is going to walk out of there with the belt. But that, of course, I take nothing away from Cejudo. Cejudo is a great champion, and he is the one who beat Mighty Mouse. But Mighty Mouse was a mighty close fight. And of course, we all know what happened when it came to Dillashaw. It looked like he might have been high on something, but who knows? Who knows? I digress. As always, I digress. Looking forward to 238. Going to be watching it side by side with Star Malibu. If you guys want to talk to us, you can call us up down here at 262 WPOT or just make some comments down below. Please subscribe and always listen to our predictions every week. Now, it's going to be a great fight. And I'm not saying that anything's going to be dominated. If anybody gets dominated, it'll probably be the Cowboy. But if Cowboy wins, I would have just as much fun. Not as much fun as I had watching Ronda Rousey get beat. I could watch Ronda Rousey get beat over and over and over again. 111 WPOT and the UFC this Saturday night. Join us, baby. You know where to be.